Who the damn video?
Spartans! What is your profession?
So today, I thought I'd do something different. I thought I'd add somebody else to the video. Can you guess who he is?
Stranger.
My brother. We call him Bartholomew.
You? No, don't say we. You.
His name is Bartholomew. There's a lot of song association with celebrities on the internet. I thought word association was big, but I guess not. So we're gonna do word association today. Basically, I'm gonna tell him a word and we're gonna try to have a discussion about it or his point of view, and I might chime in. Hopefully this turns out good. I don't know, but we shall see.
This might never come out.
And maybe it won't. Disclaimer. There might be a lot of background noise, but we are...
Quarantine in the house.
Yeah,
with
this is
1,000 people.
this is quarantine.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is what we're gonna get. First word is social isolation.
What comes to my mind is people not really taking this seriously as they should. I was at Walgreens the other day and they have like a sign that says stay 6 feet away from people, and they have markers that tell you where 6 feet is. And I went to go check out my items, and there was a lady standing like right behind me. I wanted to turn to her like, oh, so 6 feet then, huh? But like I just turned to her and laughed like, oh, you really don't watch the news or like take this seriously. And then that same day I was like a bit germophobic. Like I came back and I like asked for sanitizer, and the cup that I was drinking out of, I like sanitized it a little bit. I was like, oh, like was she really not like? But social isolation.
You know, funny enough, but hold your thought. Like, the same experience happened to me when I was at Walgreens. Like there's a clear line, and then the lady was literally right behind me. I scooted up a little bit, and she scooted up even closer, and I was like, what the F? Like, it really made me feel paranoid, you know?
Maybe 2 weeks ago it wouldn't have bothered me, or I wouldn't have thought about it.
I mean, I like my personal space, so it doesn't.
Well, yeah, you're different, but I
bothers
don't really care. Like, I see people out in masks, I'm not gonna say, hey, you should have a mask on or anything like that. Yeah, but I think, funny enough, a month ago, social isolation would mean like a totally different thing to me. Like, I would just think that you're introverted, and yeah, it would just mean something different. I would have a different take for sure.
So what's your take on it now?
Just social distancing. I think a lot of people are socially isolated, not even by choice. Like they're just home, and I hope they're taking care of their mental health. Like that's what it means to me. What about you?
I think with the initial word social isolation, it's just like we're humans. We're supposed to be social beings. We're not created to be so isolated. There's some studies done about children, babies who are born and who aren't coddled and who aren't loved and who are just isolated, and how it really affects their mental state of mind. So I feel like as human beings, we're not meant to be isolated. But on the flip side, when it comes to like self-awareness, it's like you have to be comfortable with being by yourself, and you have to be comfortable with being with yourself. So social isolation for me is just isolating yourself from social situations. Next word, expectations and assumptions.
Oh wow, expectations and assumptions.
Yeah.
I think in a perfect world, and it's funny because those two don't really parallel for me. Well, maybe they do. You're supposed to live life with mostly gratitude and not expectations. And expectations could lead to a lack of that. And it's hard to even do that. It's hard to even unlearn how to live without expectations. It's like, what do you mean? I don't expect to breathe a second from now. I don't expect for the sun to come up. Like it's like hard to live without that, but I feel like you're the happiest when you maximize appreciation as opposed to expectation. Like that's why there's a lot of suffering in like relationships, for example, because there's expectations that are put. And I think even in life in general. So Like that's something that I preach. I don't know how much I practice it. As far as assumptions, it's one of those things like you just learn. I think naturally, like to assume. I think it's so natural.
Assume there's gonna be a tomorrow. Assume
Yeah, assume this step is gonna be okay. I'm not gonna break my leg. Like
I can see it.
assume that I'm not gonna choke when I eat. Like like I think it's just natural to assume, but
Some things.
sometimes assumptions can lead to your demise, could lead to like negative things. So I think that it's best not to live like an assumptive life. Like you're in your mind thinking about like a situation, assuming what's going to happen instead of just analyzing what did happen and then you go forward with what is going to happen, as opposed to having like negative assumptions, which I think is where a lot of people.
You can also have positive assumptions.
That's true too. No, but that's true too. But then that could, if you have a positive assumption, that's almost an expectation. So it's kind of like, like maybe you should just let it play itself out and then take it for what it is, and then that lesson is learned, and then you go from there. But it's like, I don't know. It's like it's so conditioned within us. I don't know if that's even. If those two things even you could try to unlearn it, but I don't know if those even, I don't know if that would even
But
be a
I think
thing.
when you're talking about expectations and assumptions and how when you have a positive assumption about something, that's an expectation. To me, it kind of goes in hand with control. Because we want to be in control of the outcome, so we assume or expect that this is how it's going to be if I do this.
Sure.
So I think it kind of, in order to let go of assumptions / expectations, you gotta just be free and be willing to accept whatever.
Nah, you're 100%
whatever
right,
the outcome might be, and it's kind of like letting go of control.
that's exactly how we should,
Yeah,
should be thinking, but
to practice for sure.
it's a slippery slope though. It gets real slippery. So
I kind of want to do a challenge, like a 20 or 10, I don't know how long challenge. You should be in it. About like letting go of expectations and assumptions. Like, I know it could come down to the littlest things, or we can make it as broad as possible. But it kind of goes with just letting go of the outcome and just
I feel
see where
like
it goes.
some of it is just natural, but that would be interesting. A challenge would be interesting, but it's just like
Challenge accepted. So I feel like now would be a great time to like try to do something like that.
healthy challenges.
Yeah, I think a healthy challenge would be great, and so you might be seeing that. Would be awesome. Yeah, we should do. Okay, let's just do it then. So that was assumptions and expectations, and
That's weird you paired those though, because I never thought about.
I thought
I thought about those independently. I never thought about them together.
I think they coincide in a way.
Yeah.
Next word. The dictionary says escapism is the tendency to seek distraction and relief from unpleasant realities, especially by seeking entertainment or engaging in fantasy. Virtual reality offers a form of escapism.
Okay.
So what is your thoughts after hearing the definition?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think that'd be the definition.
What did you think it would be?
I thought it would be more like. I didn't think it'd have to necessarily even deal with unpleasant situations.
I thought it makes sense that it's unpleasant because you're trying to escape.
It makes sense, but you could try to escape from anything. Like it could be, I don't know.
But
I just didn't think it'd be like defined as unpleasant situations. Like you could try to escape from anything. I think.
But I feel like it deals with the psychological aspect, so that's probably why it would be unpleasant.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like it makes sense, and I feel like most people deal with that every day. I feel like most people do that every day, whether they know it's escapism or not. It's an interesting term. It's like defining these things that everyone goes through typically every day.
But we don't even think about that we're going through it because we're so numb to it.
Yeah, there's a million things we don't think about that happens every day with us. It makes sense. It just, I don't really have like a profound thought on trying to escape.
It doesn't have to be profound. It doesn't have to be profound.
No, I'm just saying I know it doesn't, but like on escaping from unpleasant situations or thoughts or something like that. Like I think that's just like natural. You know, maybe unless you're a person that enjoys that type of stuff. I don't know.
Self-sabotage or self-deprecating thoughts.
Yeah. But then would it really be escapism because you don't find it unpleasant?
That's what
at
you
that
said.
point.
Unless
So
you're a
it's
person
like,
who enjoys it. So
yeah, because at that point you wouldn't even find it unpleasant. So then that, according to the definition, it wouldn't even apply to you. So.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, for me, after hearing that definition, it does make complete sense that a major part of our society deals with escapism, with the things that we do.
Yeah, more than 80%.
Yeah, the fact that there's social media, the fact that there's telephones, there's everything.
Idolize celebrities.
Yeah. Very true, because we want that.
What's wrong with your life?
But it's because they're not getting the perspective of what it really means to be that person. They have this image or idea of what it is to me. When I reach that place, when I get to this location,
like just regular people too.
it's a thing that everyone's dealing with. What's the first thought that comes to your mind when you think of mindfulness?
First thing I think about is all-day awareness. It's like a lot of our lives are lived on autopilot. Like we drive to, a simple example is we drive to the store and drive back and we don't remember anything about the drive. We just kind of get there, get back. And I think of mindfulness and I think of being mindful, I think is to be aware. That's a meditation, I think, sort of aspect of it, or thinking as far as being mindful. Some people might think differently. To be mindful is to be aware. It's like mindful meditation is basically you being present, focusing on one thing for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes. And I'd encourage everybody to practice mindful meditation. It's pretty amazing. But I don't know, but in the same sense, mindful is kind of vague a little bit, but I think to you know, first thing that comes to mind, and we'd have to spend all day, is just like all day.
We got all day.
That's true, but I don't want to make
I know. We can make a specific
4-hour long video talking about mindful. Yeah, I just think about awareness. I just think about the passive enjoyment of the process, which is everybody's process that they're going through. Like, life is a process. Like, this is a process. Like, going to the store is a process. Like, it's just, I think the passive enjoyment and awareness of the process.
But for me, mindfulness kind of goes hand in hand with being present and not being so focused on the end result, but the steps that it takes to get to those results. Even this moment right now, it wasn't until you mentioned mindfulness and being present that I realized I wasn't as present as I could be. Like, the fact that I'm sitting down, breathing, what I'm seeing, what's passing by, what you're saying, like this moment, like it could go second by second, but it's just being grounded in what's actually going on and not focus on next question. What is he saying? Okay, next part. It's just like, wow, this is happening. This is where I am. I'm home with my family and we're filming this video. So I feel like mindfulness is just being consciously aware of what's going on, not just by day, but like moment by moment. And if you can, at certain times, second by second, although.
Damn it, awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how practical that is. Yeah, I don't think that's very practical, but in some instances, like when you're meditating is really good, you know.
That's excellent.
When your mind is racing a million miles a minute and then you just need to calm down and be present, I feel like meditation and being present really helps. So yeah, that's for me in mindfulness, and I say it all the time, but it's something I need to practice more. Instead of saying I need to work on it, I need to work on it. And I find myself, there's moments I do find myself being really mindful and aware, and that leads to huge moments of gratitude. But of course there's moments like when your life isn't so great and I don't want to be present. I want to try to be far away as possible, and I think that goes to like escapism in a way, you know. When you're dealing with a negative situation or instant or a mental state of mind, you're just like, I don't want to have to be in this moment. So those instances I choose not to be mindful, because I'm like, I just want to escape. I don't want to be here. But I feel like mindfulness is important, because even in these unpleasant situations, if you don't want to be there anymore, then you kind of think about, okay, how can I get myself to a place where this doesn't occur or doesn't affect me in such a way where it makes me want to escape. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed my brother. Wada? Why you doing that to your brother? Inside joke. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed Bartholomew. We'll probably do more videos together since we're quarantined. We're in lockdown and this whole pandemic is going on, and why not? We have time. That's a good one. What's your thing on time? We can make a separate video.
Yeah, let's
do a separate video on time and stuff like that. But that evoked so much emotion out of me. Like,
yeah, it did. For no, like unexpectedly too.
Yeah, time, man. We're gonna do a separate video on time. Maybe when we have after we've meditated.
After we have some time.
We have time. Time is it's just a paradox.
Yes. Paradox. Extreme paradox.
So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more from me and my brother, let me know. But give it a thumbs up if you like this video. It really supports my channel. Subscribe if you want to see more and you enjoyed this talk. And comment if you have more suggestions for word associations that you want us to talk about, or let me know. Comment below. And we'll see you next time.
I think that's because
Yes? What? Go watch the movie!
I'm gonna take some pistachios.
It doesn't discriminate against. Huh?
It's my movie.
Yeah, it's your movie. Huh? After, you wanna watch Coco?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna put on Coco. Okay, go watch Coco. I'm putting it on. Have you seen Coco? You haven't? Speak louder.
I think.
Laughter is important.